Hey guys, Marshmallow Trump here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be going over my hero deck, and yeah, let's get into it. So for starters, we are running one copy of Solid Soldier. Now, if you don't know what Solid Soldier does, when normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero from your hand, and if it's sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell, you can special summon a hero from your grave except Solid Soldier in defense. Now I only have one copy of Solid Soldier, but this is the main hero that you want to be searching for, as it just allows you to play multiples and then go into your bigger plays. Now after that we have 3 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, which when special summoned, you can add a change quick play spell from your deck to your hand, so you'll be obviously getting Mask Change. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a hero from your deck to your hand except Shadow Mist. You can only use it once per turn. Wait, what? Oh yeah, you can only use one Shadow Mist effect per turn and once per turn on the sending it to the grave and getting a hero from your deck to your hand. However, this is really good still because you'll be having a lot of cards which need to discard for their effect, and because of that you'll be able to get a +1 by discarding Shadow Mist and getting a hero from your deck to your hand. Also, a quick play is obviously summon Solid Soldier, special summon Shadow Mist, and get the Mask Change to instantly go into one of the better masked heroes. So next up we have one copy of Elemental Hero Wildheart. The main reason I'm running this is because I'm running Masked Hero Diane in my extra deck, and my only other Earth Hero monster is Solid Soldier. So it's another target for that. It is useful that it's unaffected by trap cards, because if they're using something like some form of Mirror Force, it's not going to be affected by that at all. So it is rather good. If they're going to use something that lowers stats, it's not going to do anything to Wildheart, so it's a very, very good card. Even if it send a monster back to your hand without targeting, it's just unaffected, so a very solid Earth monster with hero in its name, so that's another good reason. Now, I was running 3, but I'm now running 2 copies of Neos Alias. The main reason I'm doing this is for extra deck variation, as it allows me to go for Elemental Hero The Shining and Masked Hero Koga. That's pretty much the only reason I'm running this. I'm using this one because it's a light monster and I don't have anything like Honest Neos. And yeah, you're never really going to be using the Gemini effect. It's just a 1900 attack, a level 4 light hero. So after that, we'll go into my Neospatians. I'm only running 2, and it's of the same one. It's Neospatian Grand Maul, a very underrated card which I've seen a lot of success in my duels just because of this one card. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, return this and that card to the respective owner's hands. And the reason this is really good is because if they just keep cycling with something like Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, and it keeps reviving from the grave or something, you can just send it back to the hand and disrupt that whole chain. If they've got something that's massive, or they've buffed it really high in terms of attack points, just because of like a low life point effect and it's their last resort. This happens at the start, so nothing happens and they get bounced. So it's really good at just a quick one monster removal that you can keep doing every single turn. Unfortunately, it's not very easy to special summon in this deck, so it will probably take up your normal summon. So it's kind of like a last resort or a guaranteed finisher if that is what you're going for. So next up's my only Vision hero. I only have one of it, but we are going with one copy of Vision Hero Vion. If his card's normal special summon, you can send a hero from your deck to the grave. So obviously that immediately works well with Shadow Mist or Destiny Hero Malicious. If you really want, you could send something like Solid Soldier so you can revive it later. And then you can banish a hero in your grave, and then add polymerization from your deck to your hand. There's only one polymerization in the deck, but you only need one polymerization in the deck, because there aren't that many fusions that aren't masked heroes. There's only, I believe, 3. So next up we're going into Destiny Heroes. So we have 2 Destiny Hero Malicious, because it's limited to 2. But it's in here for obvious reasons. You can banish it from the grave and add another hero malicious. The main reason I'm running it is for my link monster plays. It can easily go into all of the link monsters, and it is a free hero monster for the field. But it can also be used for the 2 dark masked heroes, as well as being used as the dark attribute monster for Escoriado. So it's really good at just being capable of going into all the extra deck monsters, and that's why I'm running it at 2. Next up we have Destiny Hero Decider, one of my favourite hero cards of all time. I'd probably say it is my favourite. It can't be attacked by level 6 or higher monsters. Now something to keep in mind is Xyz monsters have a rank, so Xyz monsters of any rank can just squash this guy. But it has 2 effects, and one is when it's normal summoned, you can, at the end of the turn, add a hero from your deck, from your grave to your hand, which is really good because you can add something like Solid Soldier if you want another free special summon next turn, or a Shadow Mist if you are going to special summon it somehow. It's just really solid, and with a multitude of heroes with different attributes and effects that help in different scenarios, this guy can just bring it back if you need it. The only problem is that it's during the end phase, so you can't use it the turn that this guy's brought out, but because of his effect of not being able to be attacked by level 6 or higher, I mean, Link and Xyz monsters, it's not affected, aren't affected by this guy, but he's still good at stalling and can save you sometimes. He does have a second effect which you won't use often. When a card or effect is activated that inflict damage to you while this card is in your grave, return this card to your hand. If you do, make the effect damage 0. It does say that you can only use each effective decider once per duel. I only own 1 decider. I would run it at 3, but I only own 1. So, I mean, that's not a problem for me. If you're copying this list exactly, then that's not going to be a problem for you either, as you can only use it once if you only have 1 of it. Next up is Destiny Hero Defender. He's not very good because if this card is face up during your opponent's standby phase, they get an extra draw. But he's a level 4 dark and 2700 defense. Basically, if you get really, really bad hand, you can just set this guy and do a chunk of damage if they just attack into it. But it's like Neosalius. It's dark, level 4, got hero in its name, got Destiny Hero in its name. It's more for the name rather than the card itself. And when I've been dueling against my friends, it is kind of funny to watch them die by attacking Defender. That is rather funny. Next up, we are running 2 Destiny Hero Disc Commanders. I managed to get one off of a friend who was willing to trade. And this is a very good card because it can't be special summoned from the grave. It was sent, the turn it was sent there. But if it is, you get to draw 2 cards. Now, you can only use it once per duel, but because of it being a dark hero, it's very easy to just use it like Defender, just for the name, and not only have it in the deck for its effect, but it does get the +2 draw, which is very good if you can bring it back with something like Monster Reborn or one of the other revival cards in this deck. And I do have another level 1 hero, and that is Destiny Hero Dreamer. Now you might be thinking, why don't you just put 2 Dynatags, because I do have a Dynatag. But I only have one of that, and I'm running it because it's level 1, and because it allows another Destiny hero to be invincible for a turn, and you don't take damage from battles involving it. It does get banished if it comes back from the grave by using that effect, but it's level 1, so it can go into Linkaribo, which we are running, or it's just really good at keeping monsters alive. So say all you have is a disc commander, you can bring out Dreamer from the grave, keep it protected, and take no damage from battles involving it. And look, if you're lucky, that will be enough to keep you alive for another turn, and then you can do something else. So that is a few more heroes. Got my Cyber Dragon sleeves. So still in Destiny Heroes, we have Destiny Hero Dynatag, which, as you know, you can discard it. You take no battle damage from a battle where you'd be taking damage, and each player takes 1,000 damage, which is kind of cool. And then you can banish it from the grave, target Destiny Hero, and it gains 1,000 attack. So basically, it's like a Karibo that does 1,000 damage, and it can also buff a Destiny Hero. So it's kind of a triple package, and it all happens. Well, there's no downside, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because discarding it from your hand, I mean, you're not really going to be wanting a 1,000 attack monster. Doing 1,000, yeah, you take it, but they take it too. And, yeah, you get to buff a Destiny hero, which you probably won't use often, but it's available and it's not going to negate any other effects. So the last hero in the deck is Destiny Hero Plasma. This is in here because I do have quite a lot of special summoning going on between the monsters with cards like Solid Soldier and whatnot. And because of this, I am running Plasma. It can't be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned. So you can summon and then go into Plasma by attributing 3 monsters, so that's not that hard to pull off. Negate the effects of face-up monsters while your opponent controls them. That is a big effect. Once per turn, which is the good part of this thing, that you can do it multiple times, you can target a monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card, and this card gains attack equal to half of the original attack of that monster. And it stays equipped as long as this guy's alive, or they destroy it whilst it's an equipped spell, or whatever it's classed as. So you can keep stacking up monsters, and there's only one trap in this deck, so your zones will be pretty much free, as the rest of them are just one-use spells. So Plasma is a alternate win condition with a mass negate, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's all the heroes, but that's not all the monsters. We are running a Junk forward. If you don't know what this does, it's a level 3 warrior. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this. So that's good for cards like Miracle Fusion, as they have to be on the field or the graveyard, so that just gets it on the field quick, or you can go into a Link monster with this, so that's quite good. We are also running as a combo piece 2 Marauding Captains. I only own 2, but here's 2. If you want to know what it does, your opponent can't target warrior monsters for attacks except this one, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not amazing, because if you can only protect Destiny heroes and they have to attack this guy, then you might die because of it. But you're mainly using it because when this card's normal summoned, you could special summon a level 4 or lower warrior. Oh, wait, no, it's not even warrior. You could special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand. He himself is level 3, so that's not going to be good for rank 4 Xyz plays, but it is good for, again, the obvious helping for fusions, just getting Shadow Mist's effect to play, or going into Link monsters. So they are a few more pieces to help special summon monsters and get their effects off. Then our final monster in the deck is one copy of Mathematician. When this card's now summoned, send a level 4 or lower from your deck to the grave. So obviously you can send Dreamer to the grave or Dynatag to the grave, so their protection effects can come into play whenever you want because you've forced it in the grave. Or you can send a Shadow Mist to the grave and search for a hero. And then when this card's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, it might not get destroyed by battle, but if you do, you get a free draw, so that is quite nice. But obviously it's mainly a Foolish Burial in monster form, so that is really good. So into the spells, we are running one Destiny Draw. That's why I'm running Defender and not just like a third Neosalius. Discard a Destiny Hero monster, draw 2. So again, you can use that with things like Disc Commander, who you want to be in the grave, Dreamer, Dynatag. You want all of them in the grave. At some point you will at least. So that is not a bad idea to send them there to get free draw +2. I'm running Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, which is a +300 attack boost, and if it's in the grave, you can remove from play or banish 2 warriors and add it to your hand. So obviously there's only one non-warrior. No, 3. You've got the 2 Neospatian Grand Moles and the Mathematician. So that's 3. And everything else can just keep recycling this card. And then the reason you want to banish is because that buffs the Elemental Hero Shining, but also running DDR, Different Dimension Reincarnation. Discard a card, target one of your banished monsters, special summon it in face-up attack, and equip it with this card. So it's like a premature burial that costs a discard instead of 800 life points, which we've gone over enough. Discarding in this deck is not necessarily that bad with cards like Shadow Mist, Dreamer, Dynatag, Disc Commander, all the ones you want to be in the grave at some point. And you get to bring out any monster that's been banished, and you could have banished it yourself with things like Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade. So that is a thing to keep in mind when you're banishing monsters. Also running a Monster Reborn. Target a monster in the grave, special summon it. Obviously, this can be used to bring someone back that's big from either player's graveyard, like a Destiny Hero Plasma. Or it could... Actually, no, never mind, not a Plasma. You can't be special summoned, ignore me. But you can... Oh, can he? I can't remember. I've only had Plasma for a day. Leave me alone. Monster Reborn, let me know in the comments. Can be used to bring back Disc Commander for the draw +2. It's also a special summon, so for things like Shadow Mist, getting the free mask change. Then we've got Warrior Returning Alive. Target a warrior in your grave, add it to your hand, so if they force you to get rid of something or it died in battle, you might just want to add it back to your hand. Or a Solid Soldier for a free special summon. Then we've got a few searches. Reinforcement of the Army. 2 emergency calls. So these all search out heroes to your hand. These search out elemental heroes only. This searches any level 4 or lower warrior, so that can also be Marauding Captain or any other hero. So I usually pick Solid Soldier if I have a Shadow Mist in my hand, which I usually do because there's 3, and then get the mask change. Then we have a hero lives. If you control no face-up monsters, pay half, special summon a hero. Again, that's pulling off Shadow Mist effects and whatnot. I mean, it is a big cost early game, but sometimes you just need it because you've got a bad hand. Or you're just losing anyway. Then you've got Polymerization, which can be searched out with Vion, which we've gone over. And we've got Miracle Fusion, which is good because it banishes, so DDR, it can use things can bring them back. Plus, it can use your graveyard, which is beautiful. And then for other fusion spells, we have... Oh, they're stuck. 3 Mask Change, which obviously go into your Masked Heroes, which are the main fusion monsters that you'll be running most likely in this deck. And then finally, a Cosmic Cyclone is spell and trap removal, and it's banishing, so hopefully if they have a effect that activates in the graveyard, it's not going to be doing that. And the only trap card of the deck, Royal Decree, negate all other traps. I would be running multiple, but I only have one. But what's the point in having loads of traps if you're going to negate them all? So I'll quickly go over the extra deck. We have Mascotero Dark Law. Banishes anything that's sent to the graveyard, and if they draw a card except by draw phase, it gets banished. Mascotero Anki. These are our 2 dark Mascoteros. It can attack directly for 1400, which can be useful, but you usually want to destroy a monster with it because it adds quick play mask change to your hand. Our Earth one is Diane. I've already gone over this. Solid Soldier and Wild Heart bring this guy out. If it destroys a monster by battle, special summon a level 4 or lower hero from your deck. So obviously Shadow Mist is usually a good one. Or if you want to go for maximum damage, you can go for Neosalius. Or if you want to go for maximum protection, go for something like Wild Heart because it's not going to be hit by traps. Then we've got Koga, our last Mascotero. It's light, and it can really ruin your opponent's stats. Whilst it's doing that, it has to banish the monster, so again, things like DDR can really benefit, as you can choose like your best card and banish that. So there are Mascoteros. Then we've got Elemental Hero the Shining, gets 100 attack for every banished monster, and when it dies, you can get 2 of your banished heroes, I believe it's heroes, elemental heroes, and add them to your hand. It's also a elemental hero and a light, so that's why we're running Neosalius. This is an elemental hero and a dark, so this is the easiest to bring out. Escoriado gains 100 attack for each elemental hero in the grave. This is kind of just a generic fusion for if the monsters that you've got are better in the grave, or you just want a stronger monster on the field. So say you've got like a Shadow Mist and a Dreamer, and you want them in the grave, just fuse them into Escoriado, they're now in the grave, and you've got Escoriado. Then we've got our last Elemental Hero fusion, Elemental Hero Gaia. This is also using an Earth monster, and because you want to be searching and using Solid Soldier as often as possible, this is just kind of something that you can play with it. Halves a monster's attack and gains that half. And then our last fusion is Destiny Hero Dystopia. It needs 2 Destiny Heroes. You can target a Destiny Hero in your grave and inflict damage. Usually you want to be picking somewhat like Decider, because there's a chance that that's going to be in the grave, like quite a high chance, and that's the most that you'll be doing as burn. But also, if this has had something modified with its stats, even if it's a buff from yourself, you can get rid of the buff and then destroy a card on the field. So, I mean, you're not going to be using that often, but sometimes that's really helpful. So, there are the fusions. Next up, we have the Link monsters. So we're running a Wonder Driver because if it's pointing to a monster and you special summon the monster there, you get a Polymerization fusion spell like Miracle Fusion or Quick Play Mask Change spell from your graveyard, and it sets it onto the field, so then you can obviously use that right away. As you can see, it's a light, so that can also be turned into Koga pretty much instantly. 1 copy of Extra Hero Cross Crusader, because this can bring back a Destiny Hero from the grave, special summon it. So obviously, ideally that's going to be something like Disc Commander, bring it back, draw 2, and then you can do Destiny Hero monster, and add a hero from your deck to your hand. So you can bring out the Disc Commander, get the +2 draw, then kill it, and then add whatever hero you want to add to your hand, maybe a Vion or something, or a Solid Soldier, and that's pretty funky. By the way, these are both Link 2, so you only need 2 monsters. This only needs 2 warriors, so you can use Marauding Captain and Junk Forward. This needs 2 heroes. Then we've got Extra Hero Dread Decimator, a Link 3, and it needs 2 of them have to be hero monsters. This card and any it points to, and they're all pointing at your side, Gain 100 attack for each hero with different names in your grave. So that's any type of hero. So Vision, Destiny, Elemental. And it also does piercing damage, but it's just a nice buff for your cards. We are also running a Ferocious Flame Swordsman. 2 monsters with different names. All warriors on the field gain 500. If this link card is destroyed while it's in its owner's monster zone, you could target a non-link warrior monster in your grave and special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. So again, that can be a disc commander if you want the +2 draw. There's plenty of other things you can go into. We've discussed a lot now. Final link monster, Link Rebel. I was running Grappler Angler, but I only had 1 synchro, so I didn't think that was worth it. So the level 1 monsters you can use are Disc Commander and Destiny Hero Dreamer. So that's really good. Basically, they are good. You want them in the grave anyway. So whilst putting them in the grave, you might as well get a free 0 attack monster and negate, because I'm pretty sure that's what it does, right? Yeah. It puts their monster's attack to 0, so you might as well just bring that out whilst you get them in the grave for free. And then finally, for the extra deck, we have 2 more monsters. Number 39, Utopia, as this can negate attacks twice, but the main reason we're running Utopia is because of number S39, Utopia the Lightning. Now you might be thinking, why are you running this? You can XE summon this card by using a rank 4 Utopia you control as material. Transfer its material to this card. This card cannot be used as material for an XE summon, so, I mean, you're not going to be using it because this is the boss that you want. If this card battles your opponent, cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. That is beautiful, and it's won me so many matches, even online on things like Dueling Book. And if this card I've just read that. Once per chain, during your damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, while this card has Utopia XEs as material, you can detach 2 materials, and this card's attack becomes 5,000 during that damage calculation. One of the 2 materials doesn't even have to be the Utopia, so if you have something that gives it more material, then you can give it 5,000 again at some point. So it's really good. I'm pretty sure the declaration of attack counts as the start of a chain, so you can just chain it on as well. I think it happened on Dueling Nexus, I think it's called. So I'm not sure about that, but I hope you enjoyed. It's a really fun deck. I use it against my friends all the time. And I usually, not even usually, I always win. So it's a good deck, and I recommend you give it a shot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Also, comment any suggestions. Also, comment if you'd like to see more deck lists. And do keep in mind, I don't buy singles, and I don't have lots of cards, like the top tier cards. So I don't have any Stratos or stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.